We're gathered today to demonstrate a little bit of the work that gets done at the School of Energy Enlightenment. And we're going to start with the very first piece, the foundation information, is the esoteric knowledge about the existence of the human energy fields. Everything is made of energy, and we have different energy fields that represent different aspects of life. People sort of recognize that there is a field of energy. What we want to show here today is that actually there are many different fields of energy. They each have a different purpose, and they have a different location, and they have different consciousness in them, and they feel really different to be in them. So that's what we're going to be demonstrating today, is what the fields, the size and shape, and what they feel like and how they move, and what consciousness is in there to access and be able to make use of to incorporate into life and make life work better. So we'll start with the personality level. This is where everybody lives most of their time. It's this lifetime, it's your actual self, born, you're on your timeline, you've got your families and your life as it is right now. And this, the personality level is made up of the physical body, which is our vehicle that we get around in, and an emotional field that gives us all our ability to feel and sense everything, and a mental field, which gives us our ability to think and process information and imagine and remember, and it also records the entire timeline of our life. So everything that we've ever done is actually encoded on the timeline of the mental body. So the mental body is like body memory. If we've been there and done that, it's recorded. Which makes it good because it means we can access it to help to shift things, but it also means that we actually are carrying around everything with us that we've ever done or thought or had happen to us. All right, so let's start to play with these things. So Rebecca, will you be my demo? Just stand up right there. So these are divining rods. I'm just going to hold the handle at the bottom. They're free to spin, and they will tune to any particular vibration that whatever I tune to, they'll tune to. So we're tuning to Rebecca's emotional field. Okay, and maybe all of you can sort of feel what this feels like. Okay, so Rebecca's emotional field. And the rods will flare open right there, where they hit the edge of her field. So notice I can't touch her physical body with them, and they're kind of fluctuating around a little bit. Oh, much bigger in her loving heart chakra. Yeah. Okay, so there's actually a field of energy here surrounding Rebecca that is carrying all the emotional content of life. Anything that we sense or feel or actually have an emotional response to. So sit down again, and let's have all of us move into the emotional field so that we can feel what it's like. Okay, so move your point of awareness down into your physical body and connect in with your emotional field. And just feel a couple of words for what it feels like. Now, think of something that you like or love. And now think of things you don't like. Unpaid bills or income tax. Okay, now come back to just being yourself, sitting there in the chair. Okay, and let's hear from you now to describe what does it feel like to be in the emotional field. Bill?
So when I think of something pleasant, it's an expansion, and the visuals for me are quite colorful, whereas if I think of something that's not so pleasant, then there's a contraction as far as my feeling of the field, and the colors are more of a monochrome plane.
Great. Jackie?
It feels as though I've got swirling eddies around me, and sometimes they're bigger and sometimes they're very, very tight in, depending on what issue it is and where.
Good. So notice that the emotional field, that all the energy bodies actually run right through the physical body. So we are experiencing it internally and outside. That it may be a big field, but it actually runs through the fluids of the physical body. It has that fluidic flow kind of a feeling to the emotional field. Jeff?
There was a sense of fluidity and floating. But then the other side of it was almost sticky, like clingy.
When it contracted?
Yeah, when I went to the busy stuff, it felt like I could get stuck anywhere there.
Ah, interesting. Good. Becca?
It feels soft and billowy, like clouds almost.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Different ones, different colors. And
yeah. Good. Julie?
Just a huge, huge opening on the one hand, and on the other hand, sort of a tight twisting sensation.
Okay, good. Karen?
For me, it feels really expansive, and that's the place where I connect with other people. I find it, I feel closer to people when I'm in that emotional.
Great, yes, very connecting. Yeah. Sharon?
What really stood out for me is the changing nature of it, how that one part can be expanded when I'm thinking of something that is very pleasant, where another part can be contracted down. So it's not uniform at all. It's all very changing.
That's right. It's sort of like a cloud. It's a little bit like a cumulus cloud that's got denser areas and more expansive areas, got lots of energy moving through it, giving us feedback on everything about our world. So your emotional body is telling you how you feel about things, what you're thinking about, what's going on in your environment, anything that you're sensing. So the emotional field's a very important tool for us to learn to recognize and know when it's giving us information that's important. Suppose you walk into a new restaurant that you've never been before and you immediately contract. Your field contracts. You don't need to know anything about it. You know that emotionally you don't feel good in there. And it doesn't mean happy or sad. It means that your field of feeling is giving you feedback that there's something about it. You don't need to know what it is. There's something about it that doesn't feel good for you. So it's also a very good indicator for places where we're holding wounded, unhappy energies inside our body, because those are the places that always contract. That, you know, every time that we think of anything that activates an anxiety or a fear, or not, you know, feeling not good enough for something or whatever, and goes the solar plexus or the throat. Or so those pointers, when you get to understand and pay attention to the flow of your emotional field, the places that always react in the same way are giving you important information about what's going on so that you can get at it and transform it if you want to. Actually, I'm going to do the demonstration with Rebecca with the field expanding and contracting. So can you stand up again? And again, I'm going to find the edge of Rebecca's emotional field. And here it is here. All right, now, if you think about things that you like and love and good stuff, just watch here. Notice the rods open further and the size of the field expands. So now think about not having enough money for rent or things. That's good. And notice that I still can't touch her body, but I'm in a lot closer. That's that experience. Okay, come back to thinking happy thoughts. Good. All right, good. So this is a very good field it's the first and most important field to start to pay attention to for using energy awareness in everyday living. Because we really often get our field contracted and then we kind of get stuck in that contracted state. So if you can literally think happy thoughts, breathe, relax, do something pleasant to allow your field to expand again, you will feel better and you'll start to have a different perspective on things. One of the problems is that when the field gets dense, the waveforms are very short and jaggedy. That means that you can't actually feel the nice feelings. So it's good to learn how to do it on purpose by through energy awareness, manipulating what you're doing in your own emotional field to help yourself to feel better.